Hey, today's topic is going to be about control. There are a lot of things that people do that they don't realize they're doing that have to do with the need for control. And control is actually stopping you from getting what you want in a lot of ways, or at least it can. Now, there have been some times when I was in control of something and I got exactly what I wanted, but that's smaller scale stuff. I'm talking about bigger scale things. This is an issue that a lot of people have they don't realize they have. Including me. I was really bad about this. Lately, I've learned how to overcome this, and I'm much happier. But there have been some times, like over the years, where I thought I had to know and be in control of everything I was doing all the time, or else it wouldn't work. So the deal is this. When you're doing something in life, and you think to yourself, okay, I've got to make this work. I've got to make it work. There are good intentions behind that, but you can overwork yourself and burn yourself out by pushing yourself to the limits to make something work. That need for control is coming from a lack of trust. And the lack of trust is, probably coming from some bad experiences of betrayal, like in the past. I've been there. I've been done wrong by people who were trying to take advantage of me many, many, many times. And it screwed me up for a while because I let it. But it screwed me up for a long time. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to have to do this. And I'm going to have to do it my way or it's not going to get done. And sometimes that works. For smaller scale stuff, like I say, sometimes that works. But for bigger things, like bigger accomplishments in your life and like especially being open to new opportunities and new good things coming your way that could happen if you would just let it. That's a whole other thing altogether. So what I'm trying to say is, I know it's hard to trust, and I know it's hard to let down your guard, and I know it's hard to break that wall down. I know it's hard to just sit back and kind of let things happen. That's difficult for people, especially like me, who are afraid that the moment we slip, everything's going to fall apart. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because, first of all, everything that is meant for you is going to happen regardless. There's no deviation from the course or the path or the plan or the journey. What's going to happen for you is going to happen for you whether you want it to or not. And notice I said for you, not to you. So what I mean is, you can try to control it all you want, but really what's going to happen is going to happen. So you may as well quit worrying about it. I don't mean to be nonchalant and, just give up all hope or be lazy. It's not like that. Still be active in what you do, but the hard part is trying to find a balance. And especially for me as a Taurus, that's extremely hard to do. Because we do like to be hardcore, and we like to be on top of things, and we like control, and we like especially to control ourselves, and we like to know what we're doing all the time. And it's hard to say, okay, I've got to lighten up. It's really hard to do that. What you have to realize is that there's a trade. Because when you let go of the need to control it, and you let go of the need to, just be the leader and be the master all the time, as soon as you relinquish that, things come to you that you were controlling before and they couldn't get to you because it's not a free flow of energy. That energy and that the vibrations and everything, that's got to be free flow. You can't make it happen a certain way. You can't force it. It's going to do what it wants to do naturally, just like anything else. If you speak something out into the universe, it's going to go bounce around and reverberate and come back to you. It's going to do that of its own accord. It's going to do it on its own. You don't have to make it do it a certain way. just let it happen naturally. Let it go out and do its thing. Just like, some people, their dog gets loose and runs around outside. Like my dog used to do that. He would get loose and and at first I used to try to chase him down. And the more I chased him, this is a good ass analogy. The more I chased him, the farther he went. And it was so awful. Well, I get asthma when I run, so I can't. Eventually, I gave up. I couldn't chase him anymore. I thought, you know what? I'm suffocating. I can't chase this dog. Because I didn't want him to go on the street and get killed, because we lived in Virginia Beach, and I swear to God, those people do not stop for anybody. They don't stop for kids. They sure as hell don't stop for dogs. Nothing. So I was like, all right, he's going to get run over. So I thought I had to chase him all the time. But when my throat closes up, like, I can't. So I would have to, like, catch my breath and then go back home and just, like, wait and see what would happen. Well, that happened a few times, and I saw the pattern. I saw that he would be gone for about 30 minutes and he'd come back. And we lived in a good neighborhood, but I just mean the drivers. So it was like I was taking a chance, but I physically could not chase him. So I had to let it go. I had to let him go. And he would run around half an hour and come bouncing right on back, tap dancing on the, garage floor. So, like, I learned how to just let him go do his thing and come back. And he did fine. We never had people come up to our house saying, your dog did this. Or it was never that, never had any issues. His behavior was good. He just, like, needed to get out and run. So eventually I just let him, and he did fine. But, and when he did die, it was because he was old and just couldn't take anymore. And I think he was ready. But, what I mean is, sometimes if you just let it go, things will just kind of fall into place. But you have to trust the process. You have to trust what wants to happen naturally, because it's going to happen naturally no matter what. Pups was going to jump the fence and run no matter what, unless I tied him down. He was going to do it come hell or glory. There was no stopping him. Unless I kept him inside all the time, and he was a shepherd, so you can't really do that with him. They have to get outside. And finally I accepted that that's just how it was going to be, and I just, like, let him go. But he always came back. So, I mean, that might sound like a silly story for some people. Like, it sounds silly now that I'm telling it, but, I mean, my point is, I'll try to think of some better examples, but, I mean, I could, but it's not stuff I could tell y'all about. It's stuff that's, private to me. But and when I say let go, I mean let go. Just trust that whatever's going to happen next is okay. And don't worry about, because another reason people, especially people like me, the way I was, I needed to be in control of everything I was doing, because I was afraid of what would happen if I didn't do that. Which actually is a form of OCD if you think about it. I wasn't that bad off, but I mean, like, that'd be like the definition of OCD, I think, is, they do things because they're afraid something bad will happen if they don't do it. Some of them will tell you that anyway. So, but, that's how it feels. You're afraid there's going to be some kind of a catastrophe if you don't stay on your game. And that's not how the universe works. That's not how it works. It's not about control. It's about freedom. And the freedom means, to sit back and relax and trust and understand that it's laid out for you in such a way that, it's going to come to you. It's going to come to you. But you have to stop being afraid of what might happen if you're not the one pulling every string. You can't wear yourself out with that. You're going to wear yourself, like, completely out. There are people that run themselves down, because they're trying to do everything, and they're trying to be the best of everything. They're trying to be on top of everything, and they're trying to do this, trying to do that. Like, and yes, I was that person. Oh my God. I'm still, in some ways now, I'm still that person, but I'm doing that now with my coaching business, where I'm just, like, building. So, I mean, at least I know I have an end goal, but there are times when I wear myself out with it. And I think, okay, I really do need a break, because I'm so hard on myself about reaching accomplishments. So sometimes I still have that same issue. but I don't have it near as badly as I used to. I used to just like just about kill myself with work and everything else, trying to make sure everything got done and got done, right and in a timely manner and this and that and the other. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Just because you let up and relax on one little thing does not mean your life is going to fall apart. It's just not going to. But you have to trust what's on the other side is meant for you. You have to trust that it's okay to not know what's going to happen. You have to trust that whatever does happen is not going to ruin your life, that there will be a way around it or through it or whatever, and that whatever's meant to happen for you is going to happen. It's going to happen no matter what. I mean, the things that are set out for you are there. And you can get it the hard way or you can get it the easy way. What's that phrase somebody said? Being poor is a struggle, getting rich is a struggle, pick your struggle or something like that. It's along those lines. Choose what's going to be difficult for you, because either way, but do it, but choose wisely. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to try to control everything, and it's going to be difficult to train yourself to relax and let things come to you naturally as the blessings that they are. So choose which one's going to be your struggle. Learning to relax or trying to, be the boss. And it has taken me years to learn this. It's taken me forever to learn this. But now that I've finally figured it out, and it takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of training. You have to train yourself constantly with this. This is not some overnight shit. You have to constantly force yourself to have this mindset and remind yourself every day. If you have to do something stupid like put a reminder on your phone that pops up every morning and says, "Don't forget to relax today. Stop trying to control everything." You know what? That's fine. I think that's perfectly fine. I think you should. If that's what you want to do. If you want to write it down and paste it on the wall so you can see it every morning on the refrigerator or something like that, relax. Stop trying to be in control. Then do that. Do it. Use whatever method you got to use to come to it. But I'm saying, once you're there and you finally quit worrying about everything, it's the most liberating shit ever. And you're not going to understand it. I could tell you all day about this, but you're not going to understand it until you do it. So many things will come to you. So many gifts will come to you if you would just relax. There's so much shit trying to come to you. But as long as you've got that wall up and you're squeezing the steering wheel, that's not going to work. You think it works, but it doesn't. I thought it worked. Look at how I killed myself with work and worry and trying to multitask and trying to do this and trying to, do that for however many years. Especially after Dad died. It's been a whole decade. And I've just now started to learn how to not try to control everything that goes on in my life that I think I should be controlling, like everything that I do at work or everything that happens to me or things I think I'm responsible for, and then I feel bad if I don't do it right or whatever. And that's another thing, guilt. Let's drop that guilt shit right now. Let's drop that shit right now. That is some low vibrational ass shit, and I don't want you to do it. Stop feeling guilty. I'm not saying you have to be Scarlett O'Hara. I'm just saying you don't have to beat yourself up over whatever. Stop doing that. Stop. Telling yourself you're a horrible person because you made a mistake, that's not going to get you anywhere. You can't learn from that. You can't learn from tearing yourself down. Children don't learn from that. Soldiers don't learn from that, no matter what the military says. I was there. Shh. But I'm telling you, the you're worthless, get your shit together, that is not a mindset that builds people up. That's why you got so many children that hate themselves, have negative self-talk at, 9 years old. And you've got so many military people trying to kill themselves. That system is no good. So stop beating yourself up. Stop it. You couldn't control something and it fell apart. Boo-hoo, move on. I'm not trying to be a bitch about it, but move on. You cannot sit there in stagnation and the cesspool of, your negative emotions because something fell apart. It just, shit happens. Shit happens. You have to let it go and just keep trucking, just keep moving. It's not worth it. Your life is worth more than that for you to be sitting there boo-hooing about, whatever fell through, whatever it is. If you can fix it, fix it. If you can't, you just got to keep moving. And that's another thing about worrying about the future. Oh, well, what if I screw it up? What if I don't do it right and it falls apart? Or what if I can't do it? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not smart enough? What if I can't? What if I can't? You know what? First of all, shut up. I mean, you're not going to know until you do it. You're not going to know until you do it. I mean, that's it. That's it. What about people that are like in their 30s and still haven't learned how to drive? You're not going to know until you do it. What about people who, never went to college and they just do like, minimum wage jobs here and there, or never took an apprenticeship somewhere, or never, took a class or learned how to do anything, that is like to their interest, and they just take retail job after retail job. Oh, I can't do that. I'm not smart. Well, you're not going to know unless you try it. Look at all this shit in my life I've done that I would have doubted myself with had I not tried it. Look at all the things that I've been through. If I had said, no, you can't do that. And you know what? And there were a lot of times when I did say, I can't do that. And and you know what? I said, nah, fuck it. And I pushed myself and I went anyway. I said, nah, what have I got to lose? Nothing. I mean, roundabout way, it's kind of weird because, like, I saw myself as a loser. So I was like, well, I'm a loser. I don't have anything to lose. May as well try it. But that worked. At that time, it worked. So, like, it's kind of twisted, but it did work. You're just not going to know until you try it. So there's no use in trying to control what's going to happen or not going to happen. Because being in control and being open is two different things. It's two totally opposite things, really. You've got people who, own businesses and own companies and stuff like that, who might have money, might have 6 or 7 cars, might have 2 cleaning ladies or whatever, whatever they have that's so damned important. But they don't have happiness. They don't have peace of mind. They don't have the right spouse in their life. Their children are miserable. They don't have any friends. There's nobody to talk to. They got to, go to a therapist twice a week because they're so miserable. And they can't figure out why and everything else. It's shit like that. They've got all this damn control, but yet they're empty on the inside. Totally empty. And there are people like that. Don't kid yourself. It's not just in the movies. It's real. Because that is a real issue in this world. All this, it's that shit, look at all this flashy stuff. Don't worry about what's tormenting you. Look at this, fuck that noise. Worry about you. So you've got people like that who have all that stuff and they're still miserable. And it's because they had enough drive and they had enough, hunger for power and control to go straight to the top of some company. All right, whatever, good for you. But then they're not, at the same time, they're not open to anything good coming to them because they're too worried about being in control of everything. So they've got all that. And then at the same time, they're still unhappy because they won't just relax and let good things happen to them. Why don't I have any friends? Well, you're so worried about being in control of people that you won't let people talk to you. Because you do that shit at work. And you try to do it everywhere else and people can't have a conversation with you because you're too worried about being in control of what everybody's doing all the time. My dad was like that. Every day he came home from work pissed off. Every day. Well, almost every day. And people didn't want to talk to him because he was mean all the time. And he was an officer and had a lot of power, but it was still miserable. Well, because he was trying to be in control all the time. He couldn't get to know me and my brother half the time because he was so busy telling us what to do every time he came in the door. Oh, do this, do that. It was commands until we went to bed. It was being told what to do until we went to bed. And it's like no one wanted to talk to him. You drop the need for control. Now, as me and Philip got older, he let up because he knew he had to. But, I mean, it's not that having to pull every string, and having to be the big boss all the time, 24/7, until you die. You're missing out. I know it doesn't seem right. I know it doesn't feel right, but you're missing out. That it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. You can still be in control. You can still be the boss, but I mean, you could be in control of some things and have some stuff go your way, or you can just sit back and release that tension and just like let it dissipate and like let things come to you that you would have never thought you could have had. And it's shit that's been trying to come to you, but it couldn't because you got this wall up like, I gotta be in control all the time. It's just that you gotta let it go. I'm just free flowing. I don't script this stuff. I'm sorry if I'm like going in circles, but I'm just trying to like say things as it comes to my mind. But you have to relax a little bit sometimes. And that doesn't mean that everything's going to fall apart. It's not like that. If you have a good head on your shoulders and you're good at landing on your feet and you're good at having a backup plan, things like that, then your life's not going to fall apart because you'll have another option because you're resourceful. That could just be more of a personality thing. For me, it always was. I really can't speak for everybody, and I try not to. But, if you're that worried about it, just have a backup plan. You're looking for a job and you're not sure if you're going to get the one you want or you don't get hired at the one you want, have a backup plan. It's not the end of the world. You'll make it. Well, what's supposed to come to you is going to come to you anyway. And then once you finally learn how to let go and relax and quit worrying about shit and quit worrying about the future and quit worrying about, what's going to go wrong if I don't have the reins. Once you finally let go of that shit and things start coming to you, you're going to realize that anything you want or anything you think about, if you concentrate on it long enough, is going to go out there and reverberate and bounce around and come right back to you. And it will. I have witnessed that in my own life, especially lately, in ways I can't even tell you. But I mean it when I say, you just have to stop. You got to stop some of that. The old you wants to be in control of everything and wants to be the leader and wants to know every detail and because that's empowering and everything else. And I mean, it is. And it does feel powerful to know all the details and to be able to say, okay, this, and this, and not that, not that. Yeah, but there's a lot of limitation to that too. If you take royalty, for example, they've got all the jewels from India and all that kind of stuff, and they live in the palace and this and that and the other, but they don't make any damn decisions. Somebody else is doing that anyway. So they're really just there for looks. I mean, at a certain point, it's vacant. It's just empty. Don't you deserve better? I think you do. I certainly do. I mean, we're all humans. We all ought to have what we want, ought to have the good things we want and deserve. So, but you just gotta stop trying to, force it to happen. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. I don't want to drag this out too long, but, I just want to help y'all like relax and just let good things come to you. But you've got to stop. You got to let up on that stranglehold. Just got to let up. Tell yourself every day, I'm not going to worry about this. Walk yourself through every situation. Every time something happens and you start thinking, oh my God, just tell yourself, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm just going to do what I can do and control what I know I can control. And the rest is going to come to me when it's meant to, if and when it's meant to. And you just have to trust. You have to trust the bigger system, the system that's always in place, not government, but I mean the universe and the stars and the heavens and uh, whoever you think is out there, source, your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors, uh, your higher self, all those other chakras you can't see that are lined up above your head, like whatever it is that is out there to you, that's fine. But remember that that's out there, because people act like they'll say that, oh yeah, my angels, my guardian angels, blah blah, but then they act like they're not there. Oh well, how am I going to do this? Oh my gosh, oh no, how? Oh, this is so terrible. What am I going to do? Well, I thought, like, pick one. Worry about it and be in full control, and have your little fit and freak out about it, or relax, get a grip on yourself and your emotions, and let your angels, or whoever it was you just said you had, and let them handle it. It's one or the other. How can you do both? I've seen people do both, though, so it's like, I don't know why I'm wondering about that. That's all I can think of right now. I just feel like I gotta tell y'all that, because that's a immensely valuable lesson I've learned lately, is to let go and just let good shit come to you. But you have to trust. You got to trust that there's somebody out there. I don't know who it's going to be, from your point of view. But you got to trust that there's somebody out there that has your higher good, at heart, and it's a priority, and it's going to make it happen for you. But you've got to let them do it. And I've seen people, forgive me for using this as an example, but I've seen people that were like hardcore churchy, but yet when and I've been around this, I don't want to name names, I'm not going to, but I've been around it recently. There are people I know who are hardcore church, and and when bad weather is like forecasted on the news or whatever, they freak out. And it's more than one, that's why I'm saying they. But like, those people freak out. And I can't, it confuses me every time. I don't get it. Either trust the system that you've chosen to trust and relinquish it and let it go, or ignore all the systems that tell you what to do and what to think, and worry about it on your own and freak out because you don't have any backup. That's just how I see it. Maybe I'm just being a bitch. I don't know. It's just what I think. But I'm just like, it confuses me. That's all. Well, I want you to know that, you can let some of that shit go. And it will come to you, but just got to relax. Just trust that somebody out there is looking out for you. And as soon as you do that, I promise you, as soon as you let your guard down, the good shit is just going to pile in, because it's waiting. You've heard some people say that what you seek seeks you. It's LOA 101. Even I know that. So, but you have to trust it. And I know that's hard, because especially, like I say, for people like me who are worried about you being in control, and or at least I was, that's like an impossible thing to do. You keep telling yourself, that's impossible, it's impossible. No, it's not. Nothing's impossible. I'd like to think that if I grew two heads right now, that would be impossible, because I don't want that to happen. But I guess I can't say that it's impossible, because, I wouldn't be in control of that. You see what I mean, though? Like, just want y'all to relax and, like, have the good things that you deserve, but it's not going to come. Just like my dog. The more you try to chase it and control it, the farther away it's going to go. So, but anyway, that's all I have to say on the subject. So, as always, I hope that helps. I hope that gave you some insight or some clarity. I could probably go deeper. I'd have to sit down and make some notes on it, you know, if I needed to go deeper, like another video or something, but, or give some other examples. Now, I could give some other examples. But I just want y'all to have what you deserve. That's all. So have enough love, or at least respect for yourself, to give yourself a chance to quit worrying and just see what happens. You know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of what might happen. You know, it might go wrong. Oh, it might actually work. So quit freaking out and just sit back. Just one time, pick one thing. Just sit back and relax and just see what happens. Okay. Thanks for listening.